The Boston Celtics ended the Warriors' record home winning streak, and this game had a little bit of everything. It was a playoff atmosphere, we had wild moments of back and forth action, both teams had numerous issues with the referees, there was a mini Isiah versus Steph duel in the third, and a crazy finish. Let's start out by looking at the turnovers by the Warriors, something they've struggled to conquer over the last 2 seasons, and every so often, they get the yips, and everyone starts playing hot potato with the ball. They committed 8 turnovers in the first quarter alone, and on this one, Curry misreads the defense. He had Clay cutting when Turner lost track of his man, but instead, he tries to fire it to Barnes. Turner's bad position on his man actually gets him the steal. And the Warriors' offense was out of sync for many possessions, and when you run as much free-flowing motion as they do, it's bound to happen. Here, the balance of the court is off as 4 players are on the right side, and Draymond tries to throw a weird angled pass with Bogut and Clay right next to him. Curry isn't quite ready, it's too close to the sideline, and he drops it out of bounds. Avery Bradley might very well be the best defender on the perimeter in the league, and watch how far out he forces Clay to catch this ball. This was a pattern throughout the game, and he's glued to Clay across the court. Fantastic defense. They force Draymond to catch it 6 feet above the 3-point line, and Bogut ends up farther out than he'd prefer on this post catch. Those are off, but this easy pass should not have been turned over. The Celtics' weak side rotations were on point for most of this game. Curry catches the defense before they were set, but his teammates were also a little slow getting to their positions. Smart helps one pass away off a non-3-point shooter in Livingston. Jerebko rotates. Watch Bradley check where his man is to get into position between his man and the ball, and Livingston just tosses it into the stands. The Warriors run the loop for Clay, and he reads the defense and sees an opening to curl back to the left side. While Turner is falling down, Amir Johnson does a good job to step up to the shooter, but Clay just fires the ball in the stands, missing the potential layup. I love how Avery Bradley gets up into Steph Curry at half court, something they did all night, forcing the pick and roll to be run way too high. And when Amir Johnson hedges strong, Curry steps on the midcourt line. Again, watch how Bradley gets into Curry, forcing him to turn his body to protect the ball. While he does get beat off the dribble this way, look how he recovers with a beautiful rip from behind, and then he's the first one down the court to the hoop and gets the free throws. Great effort. The yips continued for the Warriors in the fourth as Draymond struggled mightily to hold onto the ball, just about threw it away on an ill-advised cross-court pass, and then Barnes tries to dribble it instead of grabbing the loose ball with 2 hands. Down 3 late in the fourth, this proved the costliest of them all as they get the live ball turnover, fly down the court for a simple fast break, but Brandon Rush fumbles it away. Now let's look at some of the Celtics' defensive plays to see what they were doing to make life difficult for the Warriors. Watch how Turner is in position to make Barnes catch the ball 40 feet from the basket. Amir Johnson is attached to Draymond, forcing him a step above the 3-point line. Isiah is attached to Curry, and on the weak side, the Celtics wanted to go over the top on these pin downs to keep Clay moving towards the baseline. He contests the shot, and it's not even close. Marcus Smart deserves the credit on this whole defensive sequence. He fights through the first pin down to force Clay to get the ball 10 feet above the 3-point line. The Warriors break into horns. Watch Smart bump Clay as he goes through the lane, stays attached to him the whole way through, and gives him no room to get this shot off. On this curl on the weak side, while Avery Bradley does get beat over the top, he's one of those guys who can make up for it with physical ability, recovering to get Clay out of the lane, then denying Clay soup for 1 week. Here's a clinic on defensive rotations every coach should watch. The Celtics try to squeeze Curry on the step-up screen, and on the short roll, Smart is in perfect position to help with his 2 teammates on the blocks in a triangle. On the kickout, a great closeout by Rozier. Jerebko has been moving in the direction of the ball, which gets him closing out on time to the corner. This ends up getting 8 players bunched up around the baseline, which is perfect for the Celtics defense. Olynyk sprints out to Draymond, and while the Celtics could have used another defender to close out to Barnes, give Olynyk credit for his hustle. Here's more evidence that on cross-court cuts, the Celtics wanted to go over the screen to contain Clay in the corner. And after Clay gets the pin down, Smart is still glued to his hip, and another help one pass away off of Livingston forces another miss. Watch how Isiah Thomas fights around the initial pin down. Sullinger is too low on this handoff, but Thomas is close enough to thwart the shot. Turner helps to the roll man perfectly, and Sullinger is too slow getting to his rotation, but they seemed willing to give this to Draymond anyway. Watch the perfect stunt by Isiah towards the ball with the express purpose of getting back to Curry one pass away. He takes away the shot, is aggressive with his hands, and smart is smart by letting his man cut through so he can help contest the shot. Now it's time to sit back and enjoy an incredible third quarter duel between Isiah Thomas and Steph Curry. Steph started it off with 2 field goals early before Isiah went off in the middle of the quarter when the Warriors simply couldn't keep his quickness out of the lane and away from the basket. Isiah is a shot maker and has a tremendous variety of shots at his disposal, and it's that much more impressive that he can finish these when he's not even 5'10". But Steph was not to be outdone, and he levitated Oracle Arena with 4 threes in the last 4 minutes of the quarter, plus free throws on another 3-point attempt. Each shot more ridiculous than the last, as the Celtics' staunch defense could only stare helplessly as he launched from way downtown. But that explosion got no separation for the Warriors, and this brings us to the final minute of the game with the Celtics up 2. They elect to use Smart in the post against Curry, and this catches Livingston sleeping on the weak side as Turner gets a free trip through the lane and a good look from 15. What's impressive with the Warriors is how they can organically break right back into complex action in real time, and after the offensive rebound, they waste no time in balancing the floor for a pin down by Livingston. Isiah switches this, but there's no one to switch with since Bradley was trailing Clay and Turner is on Barnes. However, great recognition by Turner, and he blocks this shot clean, but inexplicably, the slot official jumps into the play late to call it. Nursing a 2-point lead, the Celtics want to run a curl for Isiah while Amir Johnson has the ball out top. Terrific pressure from Draymond, but then all sorts of wrestling moves emerge. It's still a bit unclear whether this was a foul, but it is clear Amir wanted the timeout, Brad Stevens wanted the timeout, yet the fumble gets recovered by the Warriors. Down 2, the Warriors go to their bread and butter pick and roll with Steph and Draymond. Dre slips the screen, the short roll will give them a 3-on-2, but the Yips are back and Green just drops the ball to Amir. The Warriors weren't in the penalty, which actually helped the Celtics run more time off before Golden State went for a trap and then a foul. Up 4, the Celtics don't want to foul and stop the clock, but they also want to make the Warriors take at least 8 seconds off of the clock. Oh, and they don't want to give up an open 3. Evan Turner falls asleep in the middle, doesn't close out fast enough, and not only did the Warriors score inside of 8 seconds, it was also on a corner 3 wide open. The Warriors want to switch everything, and you can see Curry and Livingston switch, but then Livingston gets into the exact wrong position between his men and the ball. Steph had no choice but to make a stab at it, can't get to it by a fingernail, and Thomas gets the layup. This is where it got surreal. They ran Curry to the strong side 3-point line, well defended by Thomas, then they curl Barnes around to screen for Draymond before Draymond is supposed to screen for Clay. However, Turner falls to the ground. This trips Draymond to the ground. So far, all incidental contact. When Draymond tries to get up, it's at the exact moment Clay is cutting around him, so this turns into a Jimmy the Superfly Snuka suplex of Marcus Smart. This must have distracted Isiah since he falls asleep on Curry, giving him a 3-step head start to the dribble pitch. Curry gets a wide open look and it's gotten to the point where it's shocking when the ball doesn't go in. However, the ball gets tipped, Barnes has one more chance to get it to Curry, who needs less than 0.5 seconds to get the ball off on a catch and shoot, but opts to shoot it himself. Tough to criticize him in the moment, there was just so little time, and the shot misses. The Celtics stuck together as a team, showed incredible mental toughness, and took the best team we've seen in 2 decades out of their game. When Jay Crowder gets back in the lineup, and Brad Stevens guiding them as impressively as he has, the Celtics will be a team no one wants to face in the playoffs.